Hi, my name's Andy Pearce. I work for the Network Communications Group as a systems engineer. I was in the armed forces for 15 and a half years. I joined in 1979 and left in 1995. My first 2.5 years were at Harrogate at the Army Apprentices College, where I did my training, both military and on the communications equipment side. When I initially joined the Army, I found the basic training very challenging. I was only 16 and it was my first time away from home, and it involved lots of physical exercise, marching and weapons training. I remember that assault course. You still have to be fit enough, able to use the various weapons, but it's not your day-to-day focus. It's like you have a day job, but you've got to be ready to do that as well, or do both at the same time. They always say you're a soldier first and a tradesman second. I was in the Royal Corps of Signals. You're posted to different units to do different jobs. So it's not like a battalion that's always together. We're kind of where they send us where they need the communications. I was posted to the 3rd Armoured Division HQ and Signal Regiment in Germany as part of the British Army of the Rhine. We were setting up communications networks in the case of Russia invading. There we had a mobile communication system which we basically drove into woods throughout Germany and set up communications networks as required. That truck contained a 48-line telephone exchange. It's unbelievable how things have moved on. The basics I learnt then, I still use today. It's a camaraderie, working with the people and having a laugh with everyone. You'd be on an exercise and you'd be living together continually for, 2 or 3 weeks out in a wood or on a hill somewhere. I mean, you always make friends in the army and it's always new friends because you're always going somewhere different. When I was in Germany, I met Princess Anne. Princess Anne is the Colonel-in-Chief of the Royal Corps of Signals. She came out to visit my unit, so we had to set everything up in a wood in the middle of Germany, and then we had to make the wood look tidy because, of course, she couldn't come round an untidy wood, so everything had to look pristine. In 1983, I went to the Falkland Islands, but the actual war had finished before I got there. I was looking after all the communications across the island and back to the UK, keeping it all running on a day-to-day basis. Without it, there was no communications. There were lots of other people doing work, but we were kind of the central point everything went through. There was no internet then. I was based in Port Stanley, so you could see all the mountains. Sapper Hill, Wireless Ridge, where, everything happened. I have photos of me standing by aircraft and pretending to fire the machine guns and mortars, but that's the sort of thing you do when you're only 18, 19. There was also lots of wrecks of aircraft, etc., still lying around, and old military equipment. After a few years of that, I got sent to AFCENT, Allied Forces Central Europe HQ, where I set up communications networks similar to the ones I'd done in Germany, but for the NATO High Command rather than the British Army. And that was a multinational unit with Americans, Canadians, Dutch, German, Belgians. When I left the armed forces, I left at the rank of sergeant in the Royal Corps of Signals. I started selling poppies in about 1997. I had some friends where I live now and they were all doing it, and they said, why don't you help us out? So I did. Don't just join as a soldier. I'd say make sure you join as a trade, because then when you do finally leave, you've got something to fall back on. Normally, we go up to Catterick Garrison and we attend the Remembrance Day parade in Richmond, North Yorkshire, to remember what people have done for our country and for us. I think about friends that I've lost, the people I used to know that are no longer with us. I don't think it should ever be forgotten.